What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rotation Show. We are on our 4th episode, and thank you guys so much for supporting us and watching and just listening to us. I mean, I didn't know we were that interesting, Alex.
I don't think we are that interesting, but I think they're hanging on still. So
Perfect.
I think we've got them.
Well,
at least our guests are interesting,
yeah,
right?
that's for sure. We don't go for the lows. We go for the highs.
Absolutely.
So our next guest is a very special guest. He is... his name is Darrin. He's from Friendly Farms, a very massive, well-known company here in California. They're doing their thing. They have won multiple awards at all the big shows like High Times, Blazers Cup, Dabathon, and I'm sure plenty more that I couldn't find. But they're probably one of the true originators of the live resin carts, and I'm sure of other things as well. And he's a true connoisseur in the weed industry, and he leads the industry in quality products and quality packaging and marketing, which is huge in our industry. So. And he's also an educator in many ways, like infographics, videos, memes. He really does a good job of keeping his customers or patients, customers, clients well informed about what they're putting into their body. So that's huge, and it's something that's very very important, I guess, for this weed industry, especially nowadays. So I really can respect it, and I would like to welcome him to the Rotation Show. What's up, Darrin?
Hey, Darrin.
What's good, guys? Thank you guys for having me, man.
Of course,
absolutely.
Really appreciate it. Really dope what you guys are doing here.
Thank you.
With having a platform for local businesses and brands from Sacramento. So super juiced to be here and chop it up with you guys, man.
Hell yeah, man.
No,
Welcome.
we're excited. This is cool.
Yeah, it's exciting for us because for me, and I'm sure Alex as well, we're from Sacramento and we watched your brand grow. We, being a part of Calibis, we look out for clean branding and very, very sleek appeals and something that looks aesthetic to the eye. Yeah. And when we saw your brand, it was there. You had everything that we kind of look for in a branding company. Like, you guys did it really nice, man.
Thank you, bro. Like, honestly, like, we put a lot of thought into the brand, and a lot of the messaging is really important to us. Obviously, like, we do a ton of collaborations. Our name, Friendly Farms, is like, having farms as a part of this name is kind of like funny, right? Because we don't actually cultivate anything. Everything is sourced from all of our amazing partners that we work with, amazing cultivators and other brands across the state. So yeah, I mean, branding was one of the main things I want to try to keep consistent,
right?
Which is kind of
it
could be difficult with so many different like elements from other brands that you try to bring together. So that's something that has, I feel like, really set us apart. The yellow was a big piece. I got all deep into like the psychology of colors and consumer markets and like all that type of stuff, you know. So just really like have a true passion for cannabis, bro. Have a true passion for the brand, and I feel like that's really what will fuel any type of success in anybody's life. You know what I'm saying? So
you love what you do.
Yeah, man, you gotta love what you do. At the end of the day, like,
that's right.
So let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to who are the originals of the Friendly Farms? Who are the creators of Friendly Farms, and when did you guys start?
Yeah, so it's a funny story. My partner Chaz, he started Friendly Farms in 2006. He was cultivating like greenhouse, indoor, throughout like Sacramento, you know, pre-64. He was also extracting. In 2014 to end of 2017, I had a delivery service, so we were kind of statewide. Sacramento, East Bay, SoCal. And that's where I met Chaz. Chaz was like vending flour. He had this strain called Doug's Diesel that he used to grow, which was this NYC times Rascal OG. Ooh. And this shit was crazy, bro. Like, it would had like real heavy like purple with like bright red hairs.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing. We actually won first place with live resin Doug's Diesel at High Times, I think 2017 in SoCal.
Nice.
But yeah, dude created some fire ass flour. He was one of the first people to show me like a sauce concentrate, so something that was like made from fresh plant that he harvested in his garage actually, and extracted right there too, you know. So I remember, dude, I always remember this motherfucker would come to the office and like I would be hella busy, bro. Like we had our spot in downtown Sac, and we had a call center. And so I did all my purchasing from Sac for statewide. I had all my calls coming in through Sac. So I had like mad employees in and out dealing with like different vendors. And every time this motherfucker would come to the office, bro, he would like roll one up, start blazing, talking shit, just like on a sick one every time this motherfucker came to the office, bro. So like it was hella funny because I hella fucked with him, but he also like always got on my nerves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like me and this fool are like brothers now, you know?
Oh,
But
he wasn't your style at first, but then he grew on you.
we're just like, we're different, but we're hella similar. You know, like we really care about cannabis. We really care about the culture. We really care about like what we do. And so I think naturally, and like the drive and the motive and the passion that really like fueled, you know, how we came together and like, and really play into each other's strengths, bro. Partnerships are a key element, especially like when you don't have investors. We're a self-funded brand, you know. It's just me and my partner that really fueled this thing from the gate. So
that's huge. That's something that I think a lot of brands don't do and can't do. So I think that's really important to highlight too, because
yeah, dude, that's,
you know, it keeps you agile in this crazy market that
it
we're
does. And it keeps us like, it just keeps us in control of like how we want to push the brand. And like, I don't know, there's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons to like being self-funded, obviously.
Always.
Mainly like, you know, everything is a race. This cannabis game is a race. Like shit changes so frequently.
That race started like in 2017 when Rec hit. That race, I watched it just take off.
Dog, like the motherfuckers that got licensed on 64, the day of 64,
they paid.
Cats were selling like $1 million the first day. Like
crazy.
Cannacraft and those cats, they cleared it. Raw Garden, Select, these cats cleared it. You know,
they
like
cut everybody else off the market, and the only ones that had the big lawyer money to get all that information prior and get all their licensing information in, and then paid their way in. Of course, the
people that were prepared, bro. Like it's really like funny how licensing and shit goes, and like the way that we perceive like just the cost of licensing. Like people are always asking me, like people that aren't from the industry, they're like, oh, the licenses are hella expensive. And it's like, they cost a little bit of money, right?
Yeah.
But in all reality, what's expensive is you got to have a building, you got to have a team, you got to have the marketing, you got to start building the brand. Like you got to pay for build outs, and you don't get to run. You don't get to build your business. You don't get to slang on the side. You don't get to make moves on the side. You don't get to make shit at the crib like you used to, or bring shit through the back and pull it to the front. Like none of that shit exists now. You know what I'm saying? So like, what costs money is all that time. You know what I mean? Like just the downtime. And so we actually, our facility is out in Isleton, which is really dope. Our landlord is.
Where's Isleton?
Isleton is 30 minutes. It's 30 miles. I always get this fucked up. 30 miles southwest of Sacramento.
Okay.
So it's on the Delta.
Calaveras.
Calaveras out the other way.
Okay.
More south and east.
South of like Clarksburg.
Clarksburg, I think. Yep.
Yeah,
Clarksburg south
down that
and
way.
then west.
Yeah.
Pushing out towards
dope.
towards the Delta. So like you hit Isleton, Rio Vista. So like Cocoa Farms is out that way.
Nice.
You know, one of the dispensaries out there. And then on the way to Antioch.
So you're Brentwood, places like
yes,
that.
Yes. There you go. Yeah.
I know exactly where you're at.
Small town,
Walnut
bro.
Creek.
Like 800. Not Walnut Creek. Love Walnut Creek. That's a nice ass city.
Nice. It's clean over there.
But fuck was I saying? I'm all lost. Isleton is a tiny town, bro. Like there's not that many people there, so like it's really cool. The guy who put us in there, his name is Sebastian. He's the founder of Delta Boys, which is a brand and also a dispensary out there in Isleton. Boys, So shout out Sebastian. He's definitely like one of our real good homies, and really put us on out there. So the quickness to market or build and going through like city rules and regs and licensing and all that shit was like a lot quicker because we're in such a small town and there's not much other things going on. And,
that is nice.
Yeah, and there's less chain of command that they have to go through.
Yeah.
We Calibis Farms, we just got licensed in February, and it took us 3 years. 3 years from getting the location and then getting the building permits, building out all of that extra stuff.
City of Sac, right?
City of Sacramento,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, Sac is.
They killed us,
It's
dude.
rough.
They killed us pretty tough, man, for 3 years, and we're just getting back on the market right now. It's exciting, but it hurt, dude. It really
Dude,
hurt.
you guys smashed. Like, your logo is so, like, embedded in my brain.
Thank
And
you.
I'm like, I just seen it
Thank
everywhere. And when, like,
Sick.
my partner was calling, when I was on the phone with him on the way here, we were talking about, like, just going on the show and, like, who's all a part of the show and stuff. And I was telling him, and I was like, dude, I think Calibis is that brand from, like, that I just remember always. Like, that logo
Yeah.
is just stuck in my head, bro.
The
Like,
CA?
yeah.
Yeah.
With the.
This one right here?
Yep. Yeah, dude, that
Yeah,
shit
dude, that was
fucking.
sick.
That's tight. So you're from Sac too.
Well, so yes, we're from
Dope.
Sacramento. I grew up here. I was born and raised. Me and my brother were born and raised on Guam. We moved out here probably 21 years ago, and we've been out here since.
Dope.
Fell in love with the weed culture because my family is very heavy in weed culture, and when we came out to Cali, bro.
That's
Once,
what's up.
once
Where
we
it's
hit the
at.
chronic, we were stuck. And
Dude, it's funny. There's a lot of cats like that like came here from other states or even other
Yeah.
countries, bro, and just like I came out here and I just fucking got stuck.
guys,
Like-
well, not necessarily got stuck. We moved out for medical purposes for my
okay.
for my dad.
Okay.
But we fell in love. I mean, we fell in love with the weed, man, and it was really it's embedded into our culture, man. This is what we do. We've always been smoking, selling, grinding, moving things up and down the coast, everything, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's what's up. Yeah, when I say stuck, I mean like you just like got attached. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
very
Like
much,
you got
yeah.
attached to the
Totally.
culture. Like Ryan from Doja, he's from Texas. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like came
Yeah.
out here and like really grinded. Because for us, I really look at that with like when we collaborate with people. I'm like, who are the founders of this business?
Yeah.
Where are they from? What do they stand for? It's all relationship based at the end of the day.
very
you
much.
know?
Absolutely.
Network is everything.
Yeah,
It's everything.
absolutely. So like initially it was funny because it was talking through like how and who are we gonna collaborate with, and it's like we want to collaborate with the cats that like we always looked at as brands that we fucked with, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
like flavor creators, like you know, Connected and Alien Labs are collabs that we've had around the longest.
Nice.
Terp Hogs, obviously, like that
Yeah.
one was super dope
That's a
for
big
us
one.
to do, just because, you know, Field and those guys, Tony Mendo, John Doe, those cats like really created like a nice wave for the industry to ride, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It's really nice.
So
And you guys did your thing. So I must ask, who really created live resin? Because it popped out of nowhere. Distillate carts were holding the game down for a while.
live
then-
resin, the concentrate, or live resin, the
I w-
liquid form
I would
in
say
cartridges.
liquid form in
Okay, there we go.
cartridges. Yeah.
So we created it in California in November 2017.
Nice.
That's when we made the first liquid live batch, and my partner and our team, our manufacturing team, like kind of made it on accident. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Good thing
It's
for
always
us. Like
good.
we've always kind of like, since we haven't had money. When you don't have money, you have to really like pay attention to every detail and write
Bottom
everything
line.
down and
Yeah.
and track everything. So like we had our processes on track, and we basically took notes of everything we did. We were able to go back and replicate it. But essentially, we made that oil in 2017, live resin,
As a
cured
happy
resin.
mistake.
As a happy mistake, man.
That's
It was
awesome.
crazy.
And
But-
then when you guys started putting out product and you started getting the feedback, did you guys know you had something solid?
Bro, I knew the moment it happened, right? Because
Really?
I came from delivery, right?
Yeah.
So I was buying
Yep.
brass knuckles, kingpin. The first card I had was the clear,
Oh, yeah.
and the blue raz. I was like, oh my god, this tastes amazing, right? Now I'm like, fuck, and I started to get to the point where it was like, I want a cart that tastes like weed because I like smoking weed. I don't like fake
It's
flavors,
flavored
you
stuff.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that at the time it was like, oh, Kingpin had the best or whatever, right?
Brass
Like,
knuckles or kingpin?
yeah. So
Yeah.
like when we made this oil on accident, I like immediately, because we had mad sauce that we had created. Like we had so much sauce stacked up, and like the moment that we had this liquid, I was like, we had a cartridge in the office. We had filled HTE before, and we were like, damn, this shit's bomb as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So when I saw this and I was like, that's the whole extract, but it got kept as a liquid form. I'm like, let's put that shit in a cartridge right now and smoke it, right? put that fucking shit in the cartridge. I wish I remember the strain. I think it was a gelato.
I was gonna ask that if you remember.
But I want to say it was a gelato, and fuck, bro, like it tasted so good. And at that moment, I looked to Chaz and Billy, who's like another partner of ours. He's been with us since day one. I was like, stop making sauce. This is all that we make now. Because I knew that 70% of 70% of wait, I'm fucking high right now. 30% of sales in cannabis was vapes.
Yeah.
Right? And I was banging vapes. And the vapes that were moving best for me was like, it was Absolute, and then you had like a watered down mixture of like 710, Select, fucking
Himalaya. Himalaya is good.
Himalaya, yeah, those cats are from SAC too. But just the distillate brands that were on the shelf compared to like Absolute would always fly for me because it was CO2. It was different.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? And like we trademarked Liquid Live, and bro, we really like. I was just like, bro, we can change the game. This is like an example of how having investors and having bread and having people on the team that like we've learned everything as we went. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've not been to business school or college or any of that, bro. Like, it was just like,
experience.
We care about what we're doing. We want to make sure that we make all the right moves. And we want to make sure that we keep, that wheels keep turning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, when we made that shit, it was like, to me, I was just like, I seen stars. I was like, bro, this is like what everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, we've all wanted a cart that tastes like cannabis. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And gives you the effects that you never would get out of a pen, you know?
And that's where you got the full spectrum part of it down. That was badass. You were able to add all of the other cannabinoids, or keep all of the other cannabinoids where they were, to get that solid entourage effect that everybody... That's what you're going for, not just the THC.
No, absolutely. That's the true spectrum piece, right? So true spectrum is like that term that we've coined basically came from Liquid Live. We trademarked that term, right?
Right.
And some cats, you know who Cresco Labs is, right? Came into the state, Chicago, big money cats, corporate.
Yep.
And they started using Liquid Live, and like we sent them a cease and desist. We're like, oh, you can't use this. I learned a hard lesson, bro, that you can't coin something that's descriptive to the product that you're creating. So Liquid and Live is literally what it is. It's like coining canned soda. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's what it is. You can't trademark canned soda. So it was too descriptive. So True Spectrum was essentially like another option for us and another direction to take it that now I'm starting to put a lot more emphasis on, which essentially just means, because there's a lot of other carts out there. There's a lot of other liquid, live type of products out there. That's, you know, live resin that's liquid, or even now we're starting to see more cured resin that's liquid. But for what we do and what True Spectrum is we never separate those compounds. So I don't separate crystals from terps, melt down the crystals, reintroduce, create a ratio that works. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, for the flavor, I'm giving you. You know, we're giving the consumer, the end consumer is getting an experience that's very true to the representation of the DNA of that plant. So all those natural, like you said, those cannabinoids, all those terpenes that are found in the plant, we're doing a single extraction process where we keep those things intact, because you can't break that bond and then put them back together and expect the same experience. And that's really the biggest thing for what we do.
You're going to lose something in the reintroduction.
Exactly.
Or alter something.
Right. Exactly. So that's our view on it. And the way I even see it is like, oh, well, what's new? Like, what are we going to do next? Like, for vapes. And it's like, it's really now down to the hardware piece, right?
Yeah. That's a big piece of it.
I wish I brought the Aerograft. I'm a real asshole for not bringing the Aerograft.
Come on,
dude, are
Darrin,
you familiar with Aerograft?
No, not
Tell
a clue.
me about it.
Bro, so
tell me all about it, man.
So Aerograft is a device that these guys created, right? This shit's nuts. The battery and the pod talk to each other through an algorithm, right? So because of that, that means every batch of oil we create, every strain of oil that we extract, we are all about experience. And the main issue we have with consumers not having a good experience is when they don't follow the directions of letting the cart sit after hitting it, using a battery that that heat's too hot, right? These are
Totally.
the things that we run into on a day-to-day of like, okay, well, send me a picture of your battery.
Right.
Oh, well, I got this battery. It says this and that temperature. I'm like, bro, I bought 10,000, 20,000 batteries from China that's come to me, and the voltages have been way the fuck off from what we set them to.
Absolutely.
You know? So I'm like, I hear you, but just listen to me, bro. Like, show me the battery, and I'll tell you right now if that's a part of the issue. Or if you got what can happen with our carts, because it is just that straight liquid. Think of hitting a dab, right? And you take a hot dab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's left in your banger?
Black.
That residue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people always will send us videos to IG, and they'll be like, I got this black residue coming out my cart. And I'm like,
Too hot.
I'm sorry, bro, you're hitting it too hot.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit it too hot, that residue is going to build up, and it's eventually going to seep out. And even, like, I treat my product really well, like, just because I know it, and I won't even really smoke other cartridges. Like, doing R&D and trying something else is, like, I hate that shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm smoking. Like,
Right.
Speaking of which, I have something for you to try. No,
Yeah, right?
Dude, I got a mystery vape for you to smoke.
And you don't know because the state doesn't have anything in place that's, like, cross-checking our shit. I could say that my product is CO2, or I could say it's distillate if I wanted to. If that was a selling point, just like somebody who has distillate can say they have live resin
Yeah.
with no repercussions, right?
Right.
Yep.
So there's been, Raw Garden has been known to do that type of shit. So it's
That's
like
a big thing. That,
Ooh,
yeah,
shots
that's a
fired.
big
shots
thing.
fired, bro. Like,
That's
if you extract
a big
if you
thing.
extract auto flowers, bro, like, those cats are from SAC. But, like, if you extract auto flowers and call it live resin with the process they do, what makes live resin is the monoterpenes. And when you put monoterpenes through a steam distillation process to separate those out, you're ruining and destroying the value of what makes live resin. We're capturing the essence of the living plant, which is all transferred and translated through monoterpenes. And if my partner watches this shit and he's like, well, actually, the way that this is, then fucking correct me in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Correct
but
them
like,
in the comments.
No, but I
Chaz,
get that.
right?
yeah,
Chaz,
Chaz.
correct them in the comments.
But I mean, also, you look at the two carts, and they look different. If you look at a Raw Garden cart, right, and you look at the Friendly Farms cart, you can see that yours is straight up like the whole fucking plant.
You can, man.
See it.
You know, something, because we do live resin and cured resin,
Yeah.
right? And what we've come to find out, so, like, as much as we don't like what we deal with, we've come to the realization that our live resin cartridges, they won't oxidize because there's no oxidation in the plant. So another thing that happens with our oil, because it's just that single extraction and it's made from the material it came from is essentially what's going to determine the quality of the extract, nothing
Right.
else. I
Right.
can't do anything else other than extract at extremely low temperatures, make sure that the density that we pack our columns and all the temps that we preserve the material at prior to extraction and temps that they're exposed to during the extraction, soak times, all these, like,
Little
minuscule
tricks.
factors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like growing, bro. Like, the hard part is not sorry, I don't mean to say it like that. The
better
biggest thing
watch
with
out.
growing is genetics and environment.
Yeah.
If your
Yeah, yeah.
genetics and your environment are on point,
Yeah.
you're going to have good shit. It's
Yeah.
the same with extraction. If your parameters are on point,
Absolutely.
you're on point. But the fire in, fire out type of mantra or whatever,
Right.
that shit's real, bro. Like, we can't do anything else with
Yeah,
it.
somebody
When
gives you a
distill
bunch of
something-
boof, you can't just
No,
turn
exactly.
it into gold.
I can't turn it any other color. So
Yeah.
the oxidation is a big piece, a big talking point for our product because live resin won't oxidize because the plant's harvested and frozen immediately, then processed.
Yep.
Where the cured resin, the flower is going through an oxidation process to get to when it's cured. So once it's been cured, that means the flower has oxidized into this form, right? Or stage where
Right.
now you're dry, now you're cured, now you're ready to be smoked. And we wanted to capture that experience through the cured resin cartridges. So,
Right.
and that process is a lot more efficient. So, like, price points from live and cured are different, but that's specifically and only. I even thought about, like, keeping the price the same because quality wise, like, there's not really a variance. It's more of a preference between, like, me and you. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, if you're a dab head and you love rosin,
Absolutely.
you know, then you're gonna probably like the live resin a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like flower, and even if you like rosin, I think, you know, the cured resin really speaks to those types of consumers. For me, I really prefer the cured resin side than the live. And
I'm a big fan of that cured
Right.
resin.
Yeah,
Big
dude.
fan.
I like the cured too.
Yeah.
For some reason, it hits more like a dab for me.
Okay.
It hits me hard, dude. Hits
Yeah.
me good. I like it.
So cured is gonna have higher cannabinoid percentages, right?
Right.
Higher ratio of cannabinoids and lower in terpenes. So,
Okay.
like for our live, you can find our live resin probably anywhere from. Right now, the menu is all like 12 to 16%, but most of the time, our live is hitting anywhere from like 8% up to like 12, 13% is like a pretty solid like variance. I would say that we could stay within. For cured, you're gonna see anywhere between like 4. We've had cured all the way up to 12% also. So cured from 4 to 12%.
Are you losing terps then when you're after the curing process then? Is that why the cured?
Well, those terpenes go from monoterpenes to sesquiterpenes, right? So you lose a lot of those terpenes through the process. But that's like, it's like OG, right? OG is fire if it's cured proper.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If it ain't cured proper,
It can
know,
taste like shit.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I've grown
Nasty.
some batches of different OGs back, you know, a few years back, and I've had some fire gassy OG, and I've also had like more grassy terps come out of the OG.
Yeah.
So.
Can I ask what you extract the flour with? Is it like BHO, CO2? BHO.
So
Okay.
hydrocarbon solvent, and what that is I always look for different like metaphors to explain shit to people. You know?
It's helpful.
But think about like ground coffee and that filter you have, right? And you use hot water. Now imagine like that filter not being present. How can you solidify those fibers? Is through extremely cold temperatures. So processing at extremely cold temperatures so makes the fats, waxes, chlorophyll, those plant fibers, all a solid, where we use the solvent to wash away all the valuable compounds, so all those cannabinoids and terpenes, and that's what leaves you with that gold oil that you extract out of the machine. So,
Right.
Wow.
I've always wanted to ask that question, man.
Yeah.
That's
that's
dope.
pretty
I think a lot
freaking
of people are going to be
interesting.
happy to know that.
Yeah, that's like one of the big things, bro, is like people want to know how is it extracted, and it's extracted with very cold temperatures and that solvent. And all of our products are all testing at like 0 ppm, so there's like non-detect of any residual solvents left over in the extract. So that's like a big concern, I think. With people. Like, I want solventless over hydrocarbon, and like there's a distinct taste between each extract, right? Between solventless, hydrocarbon, CO2. Like you taste CO2, most of the time you can tell just from the color of the oil if it's CO2.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's heat and pressure that they're using to break apart those compounds, and then they put them back together.
Yep.
So that's why we believe mainly in hydrocarbon. And then for rosin, that's something that like I love, a lot of us love, because of like that's that flower experience, you know, like
That's a good high.
I have mad like allergies and asthma, and so I noticed like when I would dab rosin that would affect me more, and it's because like there's still those like I don't know if it's pollen
Allergens.
or those allergens are still found like in that oil. So like I noticed like a extreme difference from like just how I could breathe and like how many dabs I could take. Dude, sometimes we'll take like 20-30 dabs in a day, like
Damn.
at nighttime, or my partner likes to sample in the morning. I pass the sampling off to him because I'm like, bro, I can't
see
be
him sampling.
You see the shit on IG,
Instagram.
right? Yeah.
He speeds up, bro. This fool.
Consistent sampling.
Dude,
No,
yeah. Back to back to back to
every
back.
day he has it on like sped up like time lapse, and
It
just
is, yeah.
dab, and I'm like, damn, just in like a 30-second thing, he's hit like 8 different flavors,
So at
testing
that
it,
point,
you know.
When you're testing, you're not really going for potency. I'm thinking you're going for taste.
We're going for flavor. Like
Flavor.
that.
Yeah.
And dude, like you can't trust anybody else. Like me and my partner talk about all the time. Like before
Yeah.
he started doing the R&D on everything, I was doing the R&D on everything. But I'm on the road a lot. I meet people a lot.
Yeah.
And when I get high, bro, like it's hard to keep up with all those different things.
No,
So
you
like
gotta be sharp.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
on the
sure.
road. You're talking. You're networking. No one wants to talk to a deadhead pothead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want you.
As I'm sitting here, hella
Dude,
high.
everybody can handle their shit different.
Hey, dog. You're right.
Everybody can handle their shit
tolerance.
different, bro.
Yeah, so I'm a
I'm
functioning.
with you.
I'm a functioning pothead.
Hell
My
yeah.
brother's not. He smokes at night to just decompress, slow everything down, and pass out.
Yeah.
Me, I'm more like I stop smoking so much in the morning because I need to get a lot of shit done. I'm running like 3 businesses at once, so that shit wasn't working for me. I was scattered. As I got older, my thoughts started getting a little more scattered.
For sure.
So in the morning, I'm as clear as I can be. I write down everything I got to do. And then around like 2 or 3 o'clock, the itch starts itching. And I'm like, okay, all right. I feel you back there. About 3 to 4, I'm rolling something up because I just have to cap my day off. I got my list written out. I banged out a bunch of shit. It's a little congratulatory.
It's a good way to do it.
Too,
No, most definitely,
stay
bro.
on point.
Dude, I think, like, for me, the sampling was tough because, like, I work really well with certain strains. You know what I mean? Like, strains can really, like, motivate me.
Oh, yeah.
It brings the, like, that passion, that fucking, like, energy out of me. Like, I get super stoked and pumped up over shit. But trying all the different strains in a single, like, sitting is, like, bro, it's a fucking mind fuck. It
all tangled
gets
up.
me all fucking, like,
You're
chazzed out, bro. Like, I get
probably
fucking crazy.
probably too high. That little anxiety kicks up
Oh,
a little
yeah,
bit.
man. You know.
Dude, I wanna come
I'm
back.
finding out that shit comes with age, man.
Dude.
Yeah, is
I
that what
feel
you
it
think?
too.
Fuck is it coming from, dude?
Dude, yeah.
I've never
The-
had anxiety like that before. I don't know if it's what we're eating or drinking nowadays, or if the weed is just getting way too fucking
Are you
strong.
busier now than
I'm
you
way
were before?
busier.
Dude, I think that's a part of it too, is like, because what I love about getting high and like consuming, obviously, is like it makes you think a lot about your life, and sometimes that could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be just overwhelming.
Very
you know what
much.
I mean?
And
Totally.
and you probably the same as me. I have we
Yeah,
have
bro.
employees under us, and these people rely on us to fuel their livelihood and to maintain their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that pressure sits on the owners.
Bro, when you're the owner, you're the boss, when you actually like run shit, it's like they're your boss. You know what I'm saying?
In a
like,
way, yeah.
Absolutely.
We really are like making sure that everything we do keeps everybody like
Happy.
Yep.
happy and on track too.
If
You
they're
know what I mean?
happy,
Like, it's
they're
a lot.
productive.
Yeah.
If they're happy, they don't steal. If they're happy, they're willing to stay and grow with you. If they're not happy, they're out, or they're stealing, or they're just gonna
Little bit of
use your
both.
fucking money up, fuck around all day on their phone, and then until you fire them, and then you're like, fuck, man, it sucks.
Bro, it's like
That's deep.
I've hired
Alright.
good people that like were just not set up for success.
Absolutely.
I've lost good people just due to like our internal issues. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that comes with like that learning curve. But ownership, bro, like we gotta take ownership of like our faults and our flaws and
Yeah.
We take
look
the
at those
blame.
and yeah, I mean, fuck, bro,
But
how you
that's
gonna get better?
That's, yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And you, like you said, you know, you didn't go to business school, right? And the only way, like, I know you didn't go to business school, did you?
I went to college, almost got my AA in business admin.
Almost.
Started a business, never went back.
There you
Oh,
go.
no,
But that's
cut
what I'm
that
saying.
out.
Like,
No.
but yeah,
exactly.
but you didn't finish it, did you?
Did not
So you
finish.
didn't finish it. So the point is, and same with me, right? No business degree or anything like
No,
that.
Nothing.
You just go through it and you figure it out. You fuck up a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You learn from it. You figure it out again. You fuck
It's
up
like
a
a
bunch
crash
of times.
course, spending a ton of your own money and time going through that whole. And I think honestly, going through it, like we've been in business for over 11 years now.
Yeah.
And when we started, we didn't know shit.
Has your
And-
logo been the same since the
The
jump?
same, yeah.
And you
That's
give a lot of like hats
crazy.
out and swag out.
We
or shit?
sell a lot of hats.
Okay.
We give a lot out to maybe our influencers, like our bands, people that are seen often on stage touring, things
I'm
like.
just peeping game because
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I seen your shit
Dude.
so much, and like the fact that you've been a brand for so long, and you're in Sacramento, and I'm here, definitely like is a part of that. You know what I mean?
Thank you,
But
man.
that's really dope,
Dude, I
man.
agree. Before we even got linked up a while back, I told him the same thing. I said, I already know you, and I don't know how I know you, but I know your brand. I'm not exactly sure exactly what it is, but I love it,
Yeah.
and I want to wear some of it. And then, the rest of it kind of
Well,
is history.
Our brand started to represent our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
But without having that corny fucking twist. You remember Spencer's, the UPS shirts, United Pot Smokers?
Yeah.
Shit like that was all
Very, like,
McDonald's
comic.
mixed something.
Warner
like,
Brother, if you see a cop. Yeah.
weak ass plays on potheads, and it never represented us correctly.
Yeah.
Because we were always a lot cleaner.
Or like
than
liquor
the-
store smoke.
Yeah,
Exactly.
fuck
Shirts
that.
and
Yeah.
smoke shop shirts.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, what the fuck? Is
Yeah,
this?
Yeah,
we
shit isn't that.
we refused for so many years, and people called us dumb because we probably would be a way bigger company right now if we dumped to all the smoke shops because they were coming, and we held off. We said, nah, we're not doing smoke shops. We're not that. We put more into it. We put the woven labels. We print multiple colors. Our designs are well thought out. Like, why would we go and sell ourselves short there? And they
Yeah.
wanted it dirt cheap. So, I mean, I feel like we built a brand that represented the movers in the weed industry, the people that didn't get high and sat on the couch. We're like the people who got high, thought about a business, and fucking executed it.
No, absolutely.
We're productive potheads,
That's-
is like what I like to say.
That's breaking the stigma, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
something that
True.
we've talked a lot about, like through
Yep.
education and just
Yep.
like bringing personality to the brand. We did this whole break the stigma type of campaign for a minute where it was like we would work out and fucking we would smoke before or whatever, and people would share that same stuff, like
That's
they
dope.
smoke and then do yoga, or smoke and then hit those push-ups, or like
Yep.
hit the gym or
That's
whatever.
the best
you know?
workout after you smoke. You should get
Yeah.
a little high before
For
and just
sure.
go fucking pump.
And what we did also that I think separated us from a lot was we did a lot of clever designs to where smokers, like we have like doctors and lawyers that are that wear our brand, but they don't want to be loud with it. They want to represent their lifestyle.
Yeah.
But
They don't
have
want
to
it to
protect,
show
They have to
weed.
protect their
Yeah.
image as well.
Yeah.
So they would love to come up and like buy it and be like, this is dope. It just says CA, and then people can't
Yeah.
read the Libis part of it, and so they're out repping their
And you don't
lifestyle.
connect the dots either, even if
Yeah.
you read it.
Yeah.
You know
But-
what I'm saying? Unless
but-
you know, then you're like, that's raw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
then the thing is, when people know about our brand and then they see somebody else wearing just the logo, they know. And we get it all the time. People are like, always like, dude, I was walking down the street and this guy, he said, "Oh, Calibis, what's up, man?" Because it was like a communal
Yeah.
thing where I know that brand. I know you smoke weed.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yep.
You're your family at that point already. It's
Bro, that's probably the dopest thing about having a
Dope.
brand is like getting recognized in
Yeah,
like
that's
places
cool.
you wouldn't expect. Like, bro, I went down to LA one time with my guy Swan, who like he does like video for us now
Dope.
and works with influencers. We call him Swan because I was kicking it with Zane and Richie one night from Zilla, and we were like drinking and we were smoking, and like we all started like freestyling, bro, and All Day Dirt. And we did a collab
Yeah.
with him, but Jordan was there, and we're like all freestyling, and this fool's like saying some funny shit, and like he called himself the Swan, so like that name is always stuck for him, right? But we went to we were being fat asses. We went to LA, pull up to Carl's Jr., like middle of the state, middle of nowhere, and I was wearing, I think, like one of our friendly hats at the time. And one of the the dude who took payment from me was like, "Oh, Friendly Farms, like I have one of the carts right now." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "What cartridge do you have?" Because like I don't know, sometimes people might say this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, I got the IC Collective, one of your guys' collaborations, the OMFG," and I'm like, "Oh shit, you're a real one, bro!"
Damn.
Like that's
Spit
what's
it
up.
back
I'm
at
in
you.
the
You
middle of
do.
nowhere. I was like, the closest shop must have been like Have a Heart Coalinga. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I laced them up with like some fire. I had like some Oreos, I think, from Zilla.
And you know what? That guy is gonna remember you and remember your brand, and he is gonna be a cult like.
Bro, I remember him. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
anybody that
Facts.
comes at me with some shit like that, like
Yeah.
just out of nowhere and is like recognizes the brand, because there's so much when you put so much effort into something. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And like coming from like where I come from and like with the background that I have of like nothing. You know what I mean? Like we made this shit happen just off the rip of like we deserve to be here.
Hell
And you know what I
yeah.
mean? And like that validation is coming through, I think, more of like the market, the consumers, like the retailers that support us, like
Yeah.
the farms that support us and fuck with us. You know what I mean? Like that's that story and like what we're about is.
It's always nice
It's
to
heavy.
be recognized, bro, for your work, your hard work,
Yeah.
and to be recognized in
Most
the middle of nowhere. And this random dude knows your product like that,
and enjoys it.
the collab,
Bro, hella
and
humbling.
and
You know what I'm
enjoys
saying?
it.
Like,
super, bro.
That's
hella humbling.
big.
That's like me and my brother were talking about it. It's like things like that spark us to keep pushing forward.
oh, for
Like
sure.
we could be head down, grinding, focus on the goal, and almost be getting burnt out.
Yeah.
Almost to a way like, fuck, man, I'm always busy and always working, you know. And then this guy hits us up and says, "Bro," or we're driving down the street and people, you know, waving at us, "What's up?" or whatever. We're in
Yeah,
the
you got the van, yeah.
shit
Yeah,
like that. Like
like-
that's the type of shit that re-sparks us when a big artist wears our shit and likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, randomly we gave a box to Snoop Dogg's manager when he was doing a meet and greet in a Sacramento club.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know if he was gonna wear it. We didn't know.
Did he wear it?
Dude, the next fucking day he posted a picture of our top of the grot tee with
Oh,
Bow
yeah.
Wow on Instagram. So
Dude, that's
we didn't
so
we didn't
sick.
pay him a dime.
Yeah.
What that validated for us was our shit is dope enough for the biggest fucking weed advocate in the world to wear it without being paid.
Yeah.
And he
that's
liked
cool.
it.
He fucks with it.
You know what I mean? And it's good enough to where, fuck, dude, it made it past the manager, it made it past into the tour bus, into his hands, bro. And that was like a spark
Dude,
for us,
that's
bro.
a
That was
big-
like,
that's like a
let's
explosion,
keep
bro.
going.
For sure,
you
bro.
know?
You get
That's
burnt
crazy.
out. Now you
Huge,
just gotta
bro.
remember that. Replay that shit in your
Yeah.
head. You know.
Yeah, it's huge, bro. And that those moments you really got to keepsake, bro.
Yeah.
So and I'm, yeah, it's pretty dope.
Dude, that's sick.
So hey, let's go back to I want to know more about the struggle of the startup, dude.
Okay.
So you were running so you started in SAC. You were doing a delivery service. This
Yeah.
was during 215 days.
It's 215 days. We actually worked with the Department of Consumer Affairs,
Nice.
which is now like the BCC on
Yeah.
like regulation for delivery. Bro, I had 70 people working for the delivery across the state.
Damn, 70?
Wow.
Bro, a lot of like, man, that's where I learned
Dude, that's
business.
insane.
Before
That's a
that, I ran
big
grows. I
delivery,
had
bro.
hella different cribs around Sacramento, and like friends from high school were living in the cribs. Like, had it all set up. I was running the Y cut, the Y Life cut, the cookies cut.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you started as a cultivator,
Started cultivating,
garage type, house type cultivator,
just banging the garages
black
out,
market,
bro,
baby,
turning them
all
out,
day.
Yep.
turning them out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, from obviously like stayed in the trap for a little bit, but essentially what changed like my mindset was losing so much bread on that side
Mhm.
from just like bullshit, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Things
A
that you
fucked up
can't
run.
control, right?
Yeah.
Fucked up
Shit you
run.
can't control. So it's like that's when I decided to start the delivery in 2014 was because I was like, it's funny, bro. I actually went to jail. I got caught my birthday month, September 2017,
Shit.
driving like 30 packs of indoor and some concentrate down from Humboldt.
Damn.
It was
Damn.
ugly, bro. I had
Trucking,
like
dog.
fire ass tree. I always made that run for other reasons,
Yeah.
right? Like I always pick up shit, come back, no problem.
Simple.
And this is like, fuck, nowadays that shit probably wouldn't have happened because I got pulled because my license plate had a dealer plate. So like dealer plates was just an excuse to get pulled over. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyways, that's like a little side note. I always fucking veer off shit to talk about something
No,
else.
no, that's
You
part of
asked,
your
like-
story, bro.
You asked though, like,
The struggle.
oh yeah.
So you were growing.
So I was growing, and then I wanted to stop taking L's, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I went to go pick that shit up, which is just like ironic, because I went to go pick up this flower to start my delivery, so I stopped taking L's, right? And I
Right.
took
So
a
you
fat
just
L.
Took a big ass L.
Took a fat L.
Huge out.
All indoors,
Ouch.
paid 3 each. You know what I'm saying? Like 25, 3 for bomb ass indoor. Got that shit pulled, got it yanked. And then the delivery was a way to turn like my crops into like consumer relationships, you know what I mean, and like
Yeah.
working direct with consumers. So dude, it started as like right out the house and then turned into like, okay, we turned the East Bay on. We were out of Fremont was banging. I don't even know if it's like okay to talk about 215 shit like that.
I think it is, bro.
It is, right?
I think
We're hypothetically
I mean,
speaking.
it's,
I'm
it's
saying, yeah.
21. I think there's like a 5 or 6 years, 7. I don't know. With
What statute of limitation?
Yeah, I don't
Fucking
know.
show
We'll
me
Google
that.
it. We'll Google
Where's
it.
the
and make
fingerprints,
sure.
bro?
Yeah.
Hey, but
Anyways.
this is all just hearsay. Where's your proof?
Yeah, I'm full of shit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
he's full of
Don't
shit.
believe
I'm
shit. you
clout
Continue
say.
with your full of shit story.
so yeah, man, I would say that fuck, I just fucking fell off.
No, dude.
So what were you were going through? You were you went and you were
Oh, delivery.
trapping,
Yeah.
delivery.
So, dude, the
Deliveries,
delivery
man.
shit was just too much, dog. We had so many employees, like, dealing with crazy issues. You can't manage people remotely like that. It's just
No.
way too much to deal with. So, near the end of 2017, I was like, fuck this, and just was strictly friendly. So, friendly started with me as a partner because of...
Before you go into that,
Yeah.
were you making money off the delivery? Was it at least profitable?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was just
cool.
a lot of profit was in inventory. I had like over 500 SKUs
wow.
on my menu across the state. So I brought
Yeah.
like a lot of NorCal brands to SoCal and SoCal brands to NorCal. Like I was picking up Moxie and I was getting like brands like Brass Knuckles and Kingpins were not necessarily easy to get up north. West Coast Cure.
Yeah.
Um,
You'd have to get them from wherever they're fucking
Yeah.
distro out of.
Dude, I had to pick up a lot from some of these brands just to build a relationship. So like, and obviously those brands like dealing with as many deliveries as were around back then was like, you got to pay cash and this is the amount. So I met JP through West Coast Cure from the delivery service.
Okay.
And that's actually like one of the first people that was like big in the game who had like really been a part of the industry for a while that we started doing business with in Prop 215. We helped them launch like live resin and sold them
So
live back then.
it sounds like you were doing the delivery, you didn't like it, yet it fucking built your network.
Yeah,
It
I
built
built
your full
big
network.
time.
So that's why Chaz even came to me. So Chaz at my office smoking, wasting my time as always, right? Motherfuckers at the office wasting my time, bullshitting, and he gave me a sticker, bro. And like, I'm big on karma. You know what I mean? I'm like all about like friendships and like collaborative efforts. Like that's like where like how we run the business. You know what I mean? I've got friends that I've been friends with forever that's worked for me. I've lost friends over having them work for me that took advantage of situations. And I'm like, word, let's pick you up, place you over here. I'm moving forward now. You know what I mean? Like I learned from that experience, and now I still have really good people around me. But when I saw that name, Friendly Farms, I put the sticker on my laptop. I was like, man, I like really want to be a part of this shit one day. You know what I mean? So I guess in a way I manifested it because maybe a month later, Chaz hits me up. He's like, bro, I have an opportunity. Like I can pick up a bunch of material in Santa Barbara. He had met Graham from Glass House Farms and Ash and Kelly from Elite Gardens, which was like a nutrient company. They still are a nutrient company. And he's like, but I need a patient list. Like, I'm going to pick up all this material. We're going to make extracts, but I need a patient list. And I had like 10,000 patients.
You had the list.
So I'm like, word. And he's like, I didn't even know what the conversation was, like if we were going to be partners or what he was saying, because it sounded like, cool, you got a good opportunity. He's like, can you sell this oil? And I'm like, yeah, if it's fire, I'll sell it. Well, the first shit that we picked up, bro, was just complete shit. Like, the shit did not run right because of our equipment or if the material was older. Like, we didn't know all the SOPs.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, I was running boiling buckets of shit from the stove to the backyard with Pyrexes and tubes in the freezer and going to, what was it, Izzy or Iggy Smoke Shop in Stockton to pick up tubes and shit and, like, cases of fucking Newport and, like, Tane. So, like, I don't extract myself, right? I know the concepts. I understand how it works, but like I'm no scientist. Like I just fucking learned my way and I did that shit. But
that's crazy.
But we used to see all these variances between slabs, like, and it was all like, oh, this color, was it from the strain or was it from the freshness? And when you grow your own shit and you're like, well, this shit was all fresh, but some of it came out dark. It's like learning a lot about the material so that we can start setting up those SOPs to be like, all right, so from your farm, this is how we need it. From the time it's trimmed, that shit needs to go in a freezer immediately to preserve the freshness for flavor, color, and just like that best that we can pull out of that material.
That way
know?
you have consistency, right, for all your products.
As much as you can,
Yeah,
bro. Like
from
every
them.
strain, the consistency is different. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
the live resin is at least fan leaf trimmed before it goes to frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. I would think so.
Yeah, yeah.
good.
All live resin is de-leafed, defoliated, bucked off the stem, and frozen. Some of our partners, bro, they pull it through this cold front. It's called a cold front, and essentially it's like a nitrogen tunnel. So like your weed goes in this conveyor belt on one side, comes out the other side completely frozen. And then
So
boom,
dope.
it's in the freezer. That's like the quickest way to preserve
Damn.
your fucking terps, bro.
Frozen, like drop it on the ground, break into glass type frozen.
It's not gonna break into glass because it gets rid of the moisture content actually.
Oh, okay.
So when it goes through that nitrogen shit,
Just
it's-
hardens up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's even like soft. You know, it's
Really?
weird. It's not as it's light.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
It's
I know what
light.
you're saying.
Because it doesn't
Yeah.
have the moisture to make it heavy.
Exactly.
It's like
okay.
it freezes it real
Mhm.
quick in time and
Exactly.
move it wherever you
Damn,
got.
that's interesting.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
One thing
shit's
I
dope.
wanted to talk about too, because I don't know how much time we have, but it's really important, I feel like. And I know that Chaz had talked about it on his Instagram too for a little bit, was fraudulent carts.
Yeah.
Fraudulent carts. And the reason
did
why I
see
think
that.
that's so important
Oh man.
is because there's usually some shit you can't even figure out what's in them, like pesticides, poisons, all this kind of shit, and B, you just don't know where the original source was. It could be a real Friendly Farms that made its way through his hands, but most likely it's probably something that somebody filled in their backyard or in their garage or
Right.
something, right?
Bro,
So
it's ugly
Something,
out there.
something
Like,
gross.
these fake carts are just like, they're really good knockoffs. Like the packaging is great.
yeah,
But you can't fake the funk in the oil, bro.
Right.
Right.
Like, and just to put this out there, the only way for motherfuckers to buy authentic product is from California state licensed dispensaries
Yeah.
and deliveries.
Yeah.
That's it. So retail licensed places in California is the only place you get real authentic cannabis
no pop-ups
from Friendly Farms products. And what people be like, oh, I got it from my friend who said he got it from Cali, who picked it up here. And I'm like, I can tell you right now, my oil's not clear. Like,
Yeah.
so just off the rip, that's one thing. Let me debunk that. The second piece, the font on the cartridge, that shit ain't right. I know my fonts. That's my old font.
The
Or
little
that's a font that
details,
is
yeah.
not our font, right?
Yep.
Right.
Who's the hardware made by? If it ain't the same people that make our hardware, which is AVD, then it ain't us.
Yep.
Right? So,
It's crazy.
I'm just realizing. I'm high as fuck. See, I'm
No,
just
it's
realizing
good.
when I was talking about
Go ahead.
Aerograft,
Yeah,
I never explained the value behind.
you're right. Let's
That
bring it back
hardware.
to that.
Should I bring it back or should we finish the fraud? Let me finish the fraud shit.
Fraud.
Finish
And
yeah.
then we'll
fraud
hop
shit.
back to the other shit, right?
And then we got to
That's
hop back to
perfect.
your story as well.
That's perfect.
Don't worry, we're high.
I
These
love
guys
this.
are
This is
following.
great.
You guys are
This is
following.
Let me
great,
tell you
bro.
something.
We're
Everybody who
good.
works everybody who works for Friendly that has to deal with me is like, that's D right there, bro. He's gonna fucking start here and then go there and then he ends
man,
here.
I feel that.
And
I feel that.
if he don't remember to circle back and they don't remember to ask, I'm like, well, that's your fault. You didn't ask the question.
Don't worry,
I was
we
meaning
got
to
this.
ask about that, but then I completely got sidetracked
So-
myself.
So fraudulent carts, I mean, it's very simple, bro. Like if you didn't buy it in California from a licensed dispensary, shit ain't right. Right?
Facts.
And what we found in testing Terp Hog specific knockoffs, because Terp Hogs have been ones that we've seen get knocked off very quick from the time of the initial release, compared to like most of our other collabs.
They've got a
Terp
big
Hogs
wave.
and Alien Labs, bro, go crazy. The fakes are out there. Like
Insane.
I believe
they're
it.
it's insane. Connected to.
Yeah.
But there's places in LA, people will send me pictures all the time, like, hey, I'm near this like trap shop right now, and they have all your packaging on display. I'm like, and it would be dope if people could make oil like us, and they were selling good oil to people, and it was
Yeah.
safe and clean. It was building the brand name and the presence, but it's like, it's not. But that just makes it even more rare to get real product. You got to go to one of the 250, 300 stores in Cali that hold the product. to get it.
You know what's weird? I've heard from somebody that sometimes it's a
I
positive.
heard from somebody. You guys are really backdooring most of your shit, dog. No,
I heard from somebody that black marketing or letting the black market play with your even if it's off a little or whatever, it's still in a way a positive of getting your brand name out there.
It would be if the product was
good
decent.
and
Because you could take, bro, you could take street packs that people label as connected or alien that are fire, right? Like nobody's mad about that.
Yeah.
Like why would you be mad about like, yeah, you fucking replicated this bag, whatever, like, but with our oil, it's just like nobody's doing that. Nobody's making good oil. It's all like when we tested the Turbox shit, super dirty, bro.
Yep.
Pesticides off the fucking charts.
See?
Pesticides off the fucking charts. Bro,
Listen
the
to
additives,
that.
Talk about the vape bullshit, right?
That's
the
what I
vape
wanna
shit
talk
was
about.
all vitamin E acetate and other additives
MTC,
that should
all
never
that shit.
be in vaping. Which all these other, there's a ton of other brands, bro. I won't name drop because like of ignorance is bliss, right? You don't know that you're fucking feeding people poison, and it's like it's easy to be like, oh, we didn't know, but that's why we believe in this true spectrum shit so much, and like what we push as far as just being like the all natural oil and all natural representation of cannabis for the vape consumer. You know what I mean? Because the street shit is not only like not good, but it's like potentially deadly, right? So let's keep it so real.
It is
that motherfuckers can really
bad.
die from this shit. And bro, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, it's not even worth the like health risk of smoking something like that. Like all of our hardware is tested for heavy metals. All of our oil is tested. Like we go through, we pay so much money for testing and like R&D through the whole process to make sure that like what we give to people, it's a consumable item.
Right.
You're fucking consuming it. Like you have to really care about your processes and make sure that shit's right. That's why we try it all before it goes out. That's why I try it. That's why my partner tries it. That's why Eugene and Billy and Artie and fucking our salespeople want to try it to make sure that like I'm selling something I believe in.
I think too, that's what's so important, because honestly there's so many things with these fraudulent carts too that can go wrong, kind of going back to like the health aspect of it and what could potentially happen, right? So you've got the stuff that's in the carts that you don't know what that is, right? Then you have the, like we mentioned earlier, hardware itself, and most of the hardware on the black market probably tests for some sort of lead or metals or something that wouldn't pass. And I think a lot of people too, if you're listening to this and you don't know, when licensed dispensaries get products delivered, there's all the testing that's provided with each one of these products, and the testings are usually pages long, and the pages long testing on there go through every little things I can't even pronounce, and it basically makes sure that it's safe for you to smoke, safe for you to consume. There's no poisons, no metals, no pesticides, and if there is, it gets rejected. So you really can be sure that you're ingesting something, especially when you're vaping, you're putting it straight into your lungs. Don't buy boof vapes. Don't buy fake vapes on the black market. It's not worth it.
But the crazy part about that is they do all that testing for the cannabis industry, and I guarantee you half of the fucking produce at Safeway, Rayleigh's, or any of the big chains are selling real heavy pesticide type shit.
No, that's probably very true too. I don't actually know, but that seems like, I don't know what type of
don't give me
things they have to
anxiety,
do,
bro.
Like, I just
vegetables is all I got left, man.
No, but I've heard it so many times before, and I've heard it from like farmers that they don't get as scrutinized as the weed industry when it comes to pesticides, when it comes to handling, when it comes to
quality
anything.
control, bro. When it comes to testing, that shit is definitely not.
It's
the
not
same.
there, no. So I mean, it's just crazy how
cannabis gets fucked on it
all day, bro.
We get fucked on in every fucking way,
every
bro.
aspect of it, bro.
Even the consumers, dog, like.
Yeah.
You gotta pay a 27% extra tax to the state. It's like that's why the black market's thriving. A consumer can't even fucking afford product.
That's the hard part. It's
the
expensive.
brands, the good brands, can't afford to sell shit or manufacture or grow shit cheap enough to actually provide. Because fuck, dude, testing, you gotta have a set amount. Like if I was to source flour, right, and I was to purchase flour to put in a bag, right? Let's say I wanted to do that, which, you know, I've done that before, and we've said hand-selected cannabis.
Yeah.
But I have to buy at least 10 pounds of that strain. Otherwise, the testing per unit cost goes way up.
And it doesn't
And then
make
from my
sense.
wholesale cost to the additional 27% to the doubled amount there to the fucking add the sales tax on the end. And some of these retailers take advantage of that fucking excise. And instead of pulling the excise and saying this is from the wholesale, they'll take the wholesale price, add the excise price, double the fucking that total, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then add the sales
That's
tax.
crazy.
So now they came up 13.5% on top.
Wow.
My God.
So
That's
it's crazy, bro. I deal
highway
with
robbery.
a lot of this stuff.
I wondered about that because I've seen
Yeah.
a dispensary and I've seen a wholesale price. I think I've seen your wholesale price.
Yeah.
And then I saw the price they were charging at the dispensary. And I was like, hey, that's more than double, mister.
You can tell,
That's a
yeah.
little
That,
much.
there's places that
You know what I mean?
that do that. And I mean, you know, the hard part is there's a lot of cost too on the retailer side too. And then
Yeah,
obviously
it's
it's all
overhead,
about the tax, right? Like
employees.
if they lessen that, you kind of ease the burden all across the board from start to finish. And that really ends with the consumer too, you know.
Right.
The most
Oh, yeah.
important part.
That's
crazy.
wow. So let's
Anyways,
get
went
back
off
to
on
it.
this tangent.
Yeah, here we go.
Aerograft.
Yeah.
We're done
Okay.
with fraud. We're going to do Aerograft and we're going to go back to the struggle.
Hey, just really quick, sorry, one more thing. I just want to shout out to this freaking packaging. Looks so dope.
Nice.
Shirtzilla's
Wet, huh?
sick.
Yeah, it's like I'm
Woo!
actually I hit up my boy Arthur who does like the actual printing of these boxes, and I was up his ass because I'm like, that gold is supposed to be foil,
Metallic.
Oh yeah.
right? But the only thing he was like, bro, I have to ask him because it wraps around the box. But I was like, well, fuck, that would have been nice to know. But those are the details, like, bro, I always deal with little shit like that. So even
Yeah.
when it like looks good, like that looks good to you, right?
It's not
I'm
good
like,
enough.
That's not what it was supposed to be.
It's
Yeah.
eating
And
at
this,
you.
yeah.
I
See,
feel-
like, I wanted to do a white box with them that was linen with the gold foil
Oh, that
because
would
that
be-
hella fits the brand. But the marble look went tough too, and that's kind of what we ended up running with was that marble background. But
No, they both that would look sick too. Linen would be dope too.
yeah, no, for sure.
Damn, no, that's cool. All right, Airgraft. I won't throw us off track.
That's
all
all
right.
good.
I'm excited.
So, what I love about the Aerograft, because like we have these batteries, right, that are, however you say, have different voltages. So this one, let's see, 2.0, 2.4, and 2.9. So we always tell people don't heat over 3 volts, let it sit, whatever. The amazing thing, because you have to buy this battery, right? Otherwise, I can't validate other batteries. I've got
Right.
batteries that are going back from the same manufacturer because those voltages weren't proper. We test the shit. You know what I mean? We make sure it's right because if you burn the oil, it ain't as good. It's not the experience we want people to have. So Aerograft is fucking phenomenal because the pod and the battery speak to each other through an algorithm that we set at the manufacturing facility. So we R&D every batch of oil and every pod batch that we fill. So this gushers compared to this face on fire compared to the xenon from Zilla would have different temperatures of which that oil would be heated to give you the best flavor experience and the best like vapor experience that a consumer wants, right? So
You want to control that experience from beginning to end so that
Exactly.
there is no bad experience.
but you can't even like there's nothing else on the planet that works that way, right? Like
Right.
the disposable, it's all set a certain temp. You'd have to get different disposables for every different strain that you
Yeah.
extract, which is like again one of those unreasonable factors that's like financially it's not
It's
feasible.
no,
Right.
no
You
one's
know?
doing that. It's crazy.
So that's what makes Aerograft so unique. On top of that, there's no cotton wick, so the oil doesn't soak into anything, and so you get actually like 90+% of the actual oil, where these carts you'll get maybe like 60, 70, 80%, you know?
So is it ceramic?
It's ceramic, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And it's like a plate. And
I gotta
They're-
check that out.
dude,
Airgraft.
it's
You know, actually,
main
did they do
stage is
something?
launching.
Did they do
our
something
shit.
with a Golden State? Maybe I saw a Golden State Airgraft pod or something.
Okay, so
too.
that was V1 was built off of an app platform.
Okay.
V2 is built off of a website because obviously the app situation has been an issue.
got it. Yeah, it's been.
So V2 is now built off of a website. So V2 is also a lot more affordable. It's a subscription model where the consumer pays $10 a month, but then gets the pod for cheaper, right? So you save about 20 to 25%
Dope.
from purchasing our live in a cart or cured in a cart compared to the Aerograft. But you gotta spend $10 a month for the membership. First month is free. Your first pod is activated for free. But you get the best vape experience, and you're saving money regularly.
Wow.
So Zane, actually, I gave him one of our papaya live pods, and he's been smoking it. I met him the other day because we were R&Ding the carts, make sure flavors and shit was on point for the strains we ran. And he's like, bro, I'm still puffing on that Aerograft.
Still going.
He's like, why is the oil last so long? I'm like, because you're getting all the oil, dog.
Every bit of it.
Crazy.
But my partner did set the initial temps a little lower because he went all flavor. But I'm like, what we're learning, what we know about the consumer market with those devices like a Stizzy or a plug and play, and even like the connected disposables, right, is that they fucking want a cloud. The consumer wants a fat cloud. They want to just take rips. It's all like,
they don't want it metered.
They want to choke.
Yeah,
they want to choke a little.
they want to. It's a dab.
Yeah,
they
want to
so
rip
like,
it.
we're gonna set the temps. We're gonna meet the consumers in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, you have to give the consumer what they want, but you also don't want to like.
It's a good way to look at it.
You don't want to fuck with like the actual quality and the.
Yeah. Hey Darrin, I'm gonna bring you back to the mic.
Bring me back.
There you are. Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
I might have
No,
to
it's
scoot
all
in
good.
too.
I
So I get
started-
a little closer.
I started
Make sure
sidewalk.
that we
I know.
kinda, there you go. Let's go. Continue.
That's awesome.
My bad.
But no,
That's
bro. Like,
dope,
I
bro.
just feel like that product is gonna change the game, and it's really like the consumer's got to understand that the value of what you're getting is like you're getting the most controlled user experience that's available in vape. So
Right.
That's
That
dope.
is
really
fucking,
dope, and you're saving money. You're saving oil. Like, there's no negatives. There's no side effects, right?
Right.
All you got is the $10 a month. So if you go through, even if you went through one cart a month, the amount you save on retail to purchase that cart a month and using that battery is still 10%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
10 to 15%. You're still
Yeah.
saving because the pod is less.
You're stressed. You're
And I'm
stretching
pushing.
it a little more.
Bro,
for the
we
dime.
make less on this shit. I'm pushing it so tough because the value and the quality is like our oil deserves that shit. You know what I mean? So
That's dope.
I believe in
try
that.
You
that
know, and
hardware.
that's why my introduction said leading the game in the industry with quality products along with quality packaging. You know, that's
I did
respect,
say that,
bro.
bro. That's fact.
And
That's so
honestly,
dope.
seeing people like you guys take charge and increase the customer experience, and I hope it's okay that other people follow, because I mean that just means you're doing the right thing.
For sure.
And that's just validation for you, bro. So
Dude, we actually do some that my partner wanted to make sure I talked about was Connected and Alien Labs have their own live and cured resin line out now, 510 threads. They also have their own device. Shit is many.
good.
I've
You'll
had
see,
it.
Yeah, you'll see on the box. You'll see the True Spectrum logo.
Yep.
So we worked with them on that situation, but bro, their flavors are amazing. What makes, and I always say this too, bro, what makes an extract company is the quality of material you source, the strains that you source, and that's where the collaboration piece for me is like, it means everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like the credit should go to the cultivator, and that's why on our boxes you'll see. Last year I didn't have the bread, right? Last year I was slapping stickers on boxes. I had one box design and I boom sticker. Now I'm like, they deserve more love. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, showcase the farm. And now
Yeah.
we're just getting more and more into that. Like, our little inserts got the little stickers so you can have their logo.
Bro, the Connected
Right.
and
And the
Alien
strain,
Lab ones,
you know?
the most ridiculous ones
Reddit will
I
tell
have
you, bro.
tasted in my life.
Yeah, bangers.
Crazy.
Bro, but that's like, all of that could be attributed to like our process. All it does
Yep.
is give you the experience of the flower that they grow, the strains that
Absolutely.
they grow. So like, that's all attributed to the shit they grow, you know?
that's badass, and it's
But
only,
you guys keep
only
it
right.
intact. That's
Keep
the
it
thing. You
intact,
gotta
bro.
Keep it intact.
Keep that shit together,
Yeah.
man.
The other
You guys
thing
pay
too,
homage, bro. That's pretty badass, dude.
I noticed on the table you've got the FSO.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's something that there's a big need for. I feel like right now
Demand?
there's so big demand for people trying to like quell it, maybe anxiety or treat, symptoms of cancer, treatment and stuff that they're going through.
This is the powerful shit.
Dude,
this is the knock you on your ass shit that you got to be careful with.
Yeah.
So this oil is actually the same oil that goes in our cartridges. And like the reason we have FSO is to give the consumer that full spectrum, that entourage effect from different cannabinoids and terps that could really help with their ailments. I don't really push hella heavy on the med side. Like anybody who uses cannabis for medical, like I'm all about, like, I love that helps people, but I really believe in cannabis just because like it's just an amazing plant. You know what I mean? Like
it's for everyone.
Everybody has different tolerances, but everybody also interacts with different strains differently. So it's like all about finding what works for you, you know?
It's good you brought that up, because that seems to be the major issue with people that can be consumers of cannabis. They just had a bad experience with the wrong strain, and anxiety seems to keep popping up. And I know there's a strain out there for everybody.
And the consumption methods, bro. Like I can't eat an
too.
edible.
Yeah,
I'll be a dead mess.
Yeah.
We have
for 2 days,
bro. So we
have
we have edibles now that's made with our true spectrum oil. So we've got FSO edibles. Tincture that we collaborated with CAD. The tinctures people love because it's just organic, athletic grade MCT oil and the true spectrum oil, because you need something to homogenize with for that delivery method.
Can't be too sticky.
Exactly, because we're all about one ingredient. But in that case, like that's been a product that works really well. But this FSO syringe, bro, like because it's our oil. Same with the edibles. Like less is more.
Yeah.
Like the slogan behind True Spectrum is use less, feel more, because you really can use less and you'll get more effects out of it. So the value is definitely there.
Does it taste like weed when you put it on your edible or in your edible? Or?
So the way you consume this
is
nutty, bro. Like this shit right here. You gotta
try it, AJ.
Bro. You can put this shit on your edible to fucking boom, blow it up. You can put this shit on your pre-roll to like take something that tastes maybe not very well. You could use that with fire too. I always say respect the fire. You know what I mean? But you might go to the store, get some cheap like free pre-roll or whatever, or you might fucking be on a budget that day. So maybe the quality of the flower, but for the price of this, bro, this stuff is like really compassionately priced because there's different types of consumers that use this stuff. But yeah, you add it to your edible, put it on a cracker, add it to your tea. Fucking eat it directly.
Same oil that's in your carts?
Dab it. You can dab it. Yeah, same oil.
So you can you refill your cart?
No. We don't ever advise that, just because like those coils are only meant to last so long. Like initially, bro, we didn't want to drop full grams. It wasn't until people were like, "Well, I have to smoke 2 fucking half grams in a day."
Yeah.
And we're like, they say it's more wasteful.
And I'm like, "Oh shit!" But it is.
Yeah.
And the hardware is expensive, bro. Half grams are fucking. Dude, half grams are hella expensive for a consumer because all the cogs are the fucking same. You know what I mean? So it sucks because I'm like, if the cart was half the price, that would help save. You know what I mean? But all the cogs that go into the half, it's a value, definitely a value thing. So, and if you take care of your cart, you should never even really buy a half gram. You know?
Right.
The hardware is A1.
That's good.
But
dude, that's wild.
I'm glad you guys put a lot of thought and effort into how the consumer is going to be affected by it completely.
Bro, like that's why we don't drop certain products, or why we don't like change up when the vape game hit. Like, fuck, dude, everybody loves the full glass. I love the full glass. The full glass card or the full ceramic is so nice looking, right? But it's like the failure rate. I was talking to Jake from Hyperwolf yesterday. He's a delivery in SoCal. They're coming up in NorCal. Shout out Jake from Hyperwolf. Those guys are fucking banging.
Dope.
But I was like, bro, could you imagine if I sold you fucking 1,000 cartridges, let's say, or 500 cartridges, whatever. 1,000 cartridges, make the math easy. 1,000 carts, and 10% of those were bad. And I'm from delivery, bro. I did that shit from my crib to the fucking office to the statewide. Bro,
it's a nightmare.
The deliveries out cost you money, right? So if I got 10% failure rate, or 20% or 5%, anything over 1%, even 1%, bro, I get a fucking somebody telling me that they have a cart that didn't work, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my business. Because like That's a big deal.
It's a lot of
You know?
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
you're
it's-
also wasting time dealing with customers fucking complaining about it.
Bro, it sucks when like you get a product and like you spend like your hard-earned money on like our carts are expensive, bro. Talk about fucking like taxes. We did just drop the price. I dropped prices because we
Dope.
secured our supply chain for the year on fresh, frozen, and cured material. Bro, I got collabs coming out the wazoo, bro.
Dude,
All
that's
legacy fucking culture, like OGs,
Badass.
bro. That's been fucking like in
Dude.
cannabis. That's everybody that's a part of this shit that we work with, bro, laid the foundation for cannabis.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's such a bigger deal than a sticker on a box. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? To go back to
Absolutely.
that shit, like, you deserve your own fucking box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you deserve to be a part of the collaboration as much.
That's
or
sick.
for me, I want to offer that service as like, or as little as you want to, you know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we'll rep the shit proper. You know what I mean? We'll
Right.
create content.
For sure.
We'll fucking make the box design. Bro, I wish I had the Golden State Banana. The Golden State Banana box is dope as fuck. I was on the phone with Arthur one night, hella late in LA, and at the little hotel walking around in like my boxers and shit, like 2-3 in the morning, and we're like working on box designs, and we did the Golden State Banana, and I'm like, take the monkeys and let's hide the monkeys across the box. So we put like little monkeys
Yeah.
all throughout the box, bro. It was
Right.
fucking dope.
Dude.
So it's always nice to fuse your style with another brand style, and especially if
Totally.
both styles have a very strong appeal.
Yep.
That could really make for something really nice, or sometimes make for something like, what happened there?
Yeah.
But
It's
that- it
difficult to
looked
get
good.
that down and match your like brand though, like you were saying. It's
Yup.
like, how do you keep it friendly farm still and it not looking like a completely different cart?
Well,
Right.
dude, we learned
While
that the
doing that.
hard way. We did a fresh bake collaboration.
Oh yeah.
And I was juiced about the box. I thought it was tough.
Is that the all white one
It's an
with the
all
black?
white box with the black
Yeah,
fresh
yeah,
baked.
I know that,
Where it says Friendly Farms, it says fresh
Yeah.
baked. So people just didn't know they're a smaller grow from Long Beach. You know
Right.
what I mean? So like their presence in NorCal is not really there. And so when people got, this is like another learning curve of like people got the product, like we send pre-sale flyer, we pre-sold the product, but we didn't do pre-sale education or pre-sale awareness
Yeah.
to bud tending staff. So like just imagine one day you working the counter, and you know I got the connector, you know I got the alien, you know this and you know that, and then a white box shows up that just says fresh baked on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And it like is hard to tell if it's the same one, and you've never seen it, never heard about it, nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And like before our Instagram got deleted, I was like, you know, if I make this content and post it on IG, I'm like, we're good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that means the state's seen it.
Yep.
Right.
Now I'm like, that shit obviously didn't work. I did hella content with those cats, and that shit didn't move as well because the people pushing it, the people in the stores just
Yeah.
didn't know about it. you
Yeah.
know?
That's
Right.
the truth.
They're the front line for
Yeah.
selling your shit. Bud tenders all
Straight
day.
up.
Yeah. They
Word
want to
up.
be, you know.
They get
Shout
paid.
out to
they
the
get
bud
paid
tenders,
the
man.
least.
Yeah, they're the
Here's
ones
the
that do
truth.
it.
They get paid the least.
You know.
Yet they are the reason every
Yep.
brand is bought. If they recommend it
And they're on the phones, you know, especially
Yeah.
with the, you know, a lot of the older generation calls in, you know, and wants to talk to somebody, and they're looking for that consultative,
you're
approach, you know?
pretty much gonna make their mind up for them.
Yeah,
They're gonna
yeah,
go
they're
off
gonna
what
trust
you
you.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. So they kind of just allow you to guide them.
Yeah, there's a
which
lot
is
of
great.
misinformation the bud tenders need to know. Education is key.
Totally.
Yep.
You know, I would drop a dime, but I don't want everybody to know like the next move for us. But realistically, like the bud tenders, holler at us. We got a lot of dope shit going on. We recognize that they are the lesser paid in the industry, you know. And so making sure that they get samples and they yield benefit
That's
of
dope.
like being in the industry and like taking the time to educate consumers is like a big piece because there's nowhere to find education. Like I said, I could say
Right.
this shit is CO2 on my box. If CO2 was popping and I was a scumbag and
Yeah.
I wanted to sell something and say, oh, this is the newest CO2 cart, I'd be like, this is what it is. And
Yeah.
nobody could tell me nothing else.
Nope.
No, you can say, "Hey, what do you like? Oh, you like sauce carts? Yeah, it's a sauce cart.
Yeah.
Whatever
there's
you
a-
tell
it's
me,
whatever you
it's
want it
gonna
to
be,
be.
There's
bro.
mad distillate product on the market
Yeah,
right now,
Oh, yeah.
today,
Yeah.
that says live resin that's distillate blended with HTE. And it's like you have to really read the box because like these companies are not necessarily like not reputable or whatever, or like doing something that's hella bad, but it's like you kind of misrepresenting what y'all are, you know,
Right.
when you talk about like, oh, natural flavor this or like artificial flavor. Even your food, you see the same shit. So it's like, or cage free. Like, what's cage free compared to pasture raised? There's a big fucking difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once you learn that shit, I'm like, fuck, I don't want cage free. It's the same shit as the non cage free, but I'm charging $1.50 more for these eggs, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
This is-
Like, I peep game, bro, on that shit. And when you learn that shit, you're like, fuck. So I'm like, when's that organization coming into cannabis? Because then we'll boom more. You know what I mean? Like, let the cream rise to the top, man.
No,
You know?
that's
And
great.
it's happening. I think being that the wreck hit in 2017, a lot of the big money investors from like around the U.S. or Canada or whatever, they tried a good go, bro, and it
A lot
seems
of those cats flop, bro.
Yeah, dude.
What's the
Hard,
one?
big time.
What's the one fucking fuck face McGee? What's that boy's name?
There's a few. Ignite.
Ignite. Thank you, bro.
He was a big flop.
Denver.
He's still
That
pushing.
shit.
He's still pushing. I
He's
mean,
pushing.
Yeah, he's still
I think
pushing.
he's just
pushing
pushing
money out of
or
his ass.
something.
Yeah.
He pushing more and more money out,
so,
boy.
So it
Yeah,
goes
that's-
back to what you're
Fuck.
saying. It's
That-
like
that
the
one's
cream
bad.
is rising to the top. Like it is the best of the best, and that's what's always been good about the weed industry, even before it was an industry. Is everybody who smoked it cared about it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like cigarettes, and it's not going to be like beer, because we already loved it before it was legal.
Yeah.
So we're going to dictate who wins, and we're going to dictate which craft farmers we're going to blow up.
100%.
You know?
Bro, it goes like this. Like, in cannabis, there's all of us as legacy operators, and the people that know about it can speak about it like we know about it. The consumer market is so much more well developed than it ever was before, right? Like,
Yeah.
for the first time ever, McDonald's are closing. People are more conscious about where they're shopping, what the label says, and that's even where I started to dig deeper on those label claim shits, right? To figure out, like, okay, what should I actually purchase when I buy my groceries, or what's fair trade, or whatever, you know? So, like, consumers are starting to learn and peep game, and, like, especially with, like, this type of a process and these types of products, and when the brands come together and really, like, our voices, what was the shit, strength in numbers from from the Warriors whole camp. I mean, I know that's just a saying, but for me, that's where it resonated, was like the championship run, the strength in numbers thing, you know? But yeah, bro, the more that we can come together and stand against, like, my goal is, when I do all these collabs and I go into a dispensary, like, a big piece is I'm trying to build a wall with the partners we work with, because I'm sourcing. I know everybody. I know the Connected Flowers fire. I know the fucking Seven Leaves fire is flower. Fire is flower. You feel me?
Yeah. No,
flower
for
is
sure.
fire. I know that Golden State Bananas is pumping out fire. I know that Wonder Brett has, like, those terps. Clout King pushing out shit. Lit House. All these cats that are growing fire should deserve to be on the shelf. It's more the awareness.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build that wall. We won't go into the store. We roll in the store. All these different farms. It's like, what's this brand? What's this brand? Why you got these brands in here that have no, like,
No business
roots
being in there, man.
Bro, yeah.
To tell you the
True.
truth.
No roots.
Everybody you mentioned there has been around. They've been around 215 days, and they've grown, and they've been around probably a lot longer than even some of them we've been alive. Like, you
Some
got
of these
some
cats been
old
around for. I'm
schoolers,
30,
man.
bro. Some of these
Yeah.
cats been around since I was in high school. Like, Tony
Yeah, they've been doing
Mendo
their
was
thing.
fucking,
These guys been growing, getting arrested,
you know, impregnating
Fucking-
fucking
Yeah.
phenos with you know what I'm
for a
saying?
long
Facts.
time.
For
dude.
a minute.
Facts.
The fucking weed industry is beautiful, and the people that consume marijuana are beautiful, and even the new consumers that are coming in, yes, they're gonna buy maybe an Ignite this because they've seen Dan Bilzerian, but once they go in and the budtenders start chatting with
They
them,
might not even buy it. They might
Yeah.
go in because of it, and then it just
it ends up
Thank you for
being-
bringing a new consumer to the door, bro.
Yeah.
Budtender's
You know what
gonna
I
be
mean?
like,
Exactly.
no, you don't want that. this is what you want,
For
because
sure.
that bud tender wants you to love weed as much as she or he does.
Can you even
So
get
that's what
Ignite
you're gonna
anywhere
get.
around here anymore? Do they sell it around
I've never
here?
seen it. I've actually never seen it, dude.
Shit, maybe it's-
maybe just
maybe it
LA
doesn't
local.
exist.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's why
maybe.
it flopped. I'm not sure.
I
But
don't know,
man.
we're gonna wrap it up.
Most definitely.
But I do want you to at least introduce a few of your products and let us know what's on the horizon for you guys and what you guys got coming for.
Yeah.
So we can be excited about,
Some
man.
notes, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so fuck, I wish I had a green dog box. That is like a really
I've seen
ill
that
collab.
one. It's sick.
What's coming though is just more options, more strains in live resin, cured resin, collaborations that we have coming. Some that I'm like really excited about is, you know, Zilla's around the corner, Lit House is coming. Those cats are from Mendocino. A brand I'm super juiced on that I've been talking to for like over a year. I had the box design a year ago, and it's just taken so long to bring the collab up. But it's Ball Family Farms.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys are familiar
Yeah.
with them. Really juiced to be working with those cats.
Nice.
We have a pre-roll coming in. Just a very inexpensive product. For the consumer, they'll be around $6 to $8 for a 1 gram pre-roll, all indoor material.
Nice.
Hype strains, shit tastes phenomenal.
That's dope.
White ashes, so
That's
we're dropping
exciting,
some
bro.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's sick.
Good
That's gonna
pre-roll
be
is a
big,
good
man.
pre-roll, man.
for the low, yeah,
Fuck.
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
dope.
I'm about that.
We got that. We have infused pre-rolls right now, 2 half grams, because infused pre-rolls tend to like clog up. So through like that R&D process, we realized that, and our infused pre-rolls are out. We have cake rolls and sugar rolls. Cake roll is just like our take on like a crumble extract, which is just a dry whipped version of concentrate, and then a sugar roll, which is more of like a sauce with less terps, or the terps are
Yeah.
a part of the crystal, so that
Okay.
sugar in those pre-rolls. So
Are
cake
those
rolls,
out now?
sugar, those are out now.
Ooh,
those are
that
2
sounds
half
fire.
grams
Damn.
per
There you go.
tube.
That's sick.
Exciting, bro.
yeah, man.
Exciting.
Other than that, the edibles are out. That's some definitely to highlight. All of our products are made with true spectrum, so we don't separate any compounds. Even on our sauces, we don't separate compounds, put them back together. A lot of people may like separate the terps, cannabinoids, purge them separately, bring them back together. We don't do that. So that's another difference between like our process and some of the other people. Also the what else do I have coming? I think that's it. The Aerograft is out. Wish I had one to show you guys.
That's sick.
I'll make
Next
sure you
time.
guys
That's
get
sick.
one though.
Next
Yeah.
time, dog. Next time you're coming back, you're gonna bring all that dope shit, and you're
Dude.
gonna bring Chaz.
Yep.
That'll be
Dude,
dope.
Chaz,
I'd
come
love
up-
to
I was
meet
gonna do
you.
a dabathon with them or something.
Oh,
Right,
we
for
should.
reals.
Bro, we'll taste. We'll do the flavor
Dude,
test.
that'd
I'll
be
fucking
sick.
sacrifice my mental clarity
I'm
for the
down.
fucking session,
We'll
bro.
do it later.
I'll
in
get a
the
little
evening.
crazy anxiety for it. I'm down. Shit. But Chaz, correct
fun.
everything in the comments.
That's
Yeah,
right.
anything
Hit
we
me in the
fucked up.
comments.
So thanks everybody for
Yeah, thanks,
tuning
guys.
in. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and
Please.
shoot a comment to us. Let us know what your thoughts are, man. Thank you, thank you, Darren
Chaz.
and Chaz,
Fucking me up,
and
man.
everybody in Friendly
Thanks,
Farms.
Darren.
Thanks for coming through, and
Yeah, go check
we
them
love
out.
you guys, man. Take care. Push love. Peace
Peace.
out.
Guys, peace.
This shit's insane.